The US-China trade war, how did it start and who's really winning? Is the US-China trade war a game with no winners? The economic standoff between two of the world's largest economies, the United States and China, has been a hot topic that's transformed discussions in the realms of economics and trade. But who is truly benefiting from this trade war, if anyone? This video aims to provide a comprehensive analysis of how the trade war began, detail its significant moments, unpack its impact on global supply chains, and describe its effect on everyday consumers and the economies of both countries. The US-China trade war didn't arise overnight. It is a result of long-standing grievances. From historical trade relations marked by a massive trade imbalance to concerns over intellectual property rights, tensions began simmering years before the first tariffs were announced. The United States has long been wary of the persistent trade deficits with China, arguing that such imbalances are unsustainable and detrimental to domestic economic health. The trade war officially kicked off when the United States, under the Trump administration, imposed the first series of tariffs on Chinese imports, alleging unfair trade practices. China quickly retaliated with tariffs of its own. This tit-for-tat strategy quickly escalated, with each side implementing further tariff rounds, affecting a wide range of industries from agriculture to technology. Several key moments defined the trajectory of the trade war. Among these were major tariff announcements, which caused immediate ripples globally. Important meetings and negotiations between senior US and Chinese officials frequently hit the headlines, often giving hope for resolution, but frequently resulting in further impasses. The trade war has profoundly disrupted global supply chains, prompting companies to rethink their manufacturing strategies. Many firms have shifted production bases to other countries in Southeast Asia to mitigate the impact of tariffs, creating a ripple effect in global trade dynamics and resulting in economic wins for some yet losses for others. For consumers, the immediate impact has been seen in the increased prices of a variety of goods. Tariffs have functioned as an indirect tax, raising costs for businesses importing goods, which were then passed on to consumers. Everyday products, from electronics to groceries, saw price hikes and shortages in supply due to the disrupted supply chains. On the American front, industries such as agriculture and manufacturing were heavily affected. Farmers faced difficulties due to China's retaliatory tariffs on US agricultural products. Meanwhile, businesses had to navigate the challenges of increased import costs. Consequently, GDP growth rates showed fluctuations, reflecting the economic uncertainty born from the trade conflict. China also faced its share of challenges as a result of the trade war. The country experienced a slowdown in its economy, forcing businesses to develop strategies to cope with decreased demand and increased costs. China's focus on domestic markets and innovation can be seen as an adaptation strategy, ensuring long-term resilience. Not only companies, but everyday consumers have felt the trade war's tremors. With increased prices on essential goods, households in both countries had to reassess their spending habits. This change in consumption patterns highlighted the far-reaching consequences of international relations on domestic life. From the US perspective, the trade war was a necessary step to address the long-standing trade imbalance and to pressure China into revising its trade practices, particularly concerning intellectual property and market access. The administration's actions spurred a mix of public opinions and rolled into broader political implications, affecting voter sentiment and policy-making. On the other side, China's response was characterized by strategic patience and measured retaliation, highlighting their focus on reducing reliance on US imports. The trade war has fueled China's ambition to boost domestic innovation and foster self-sufficiency, a crucial aspect of its long-term economic strategy. A detailed examination of the tariffs imposed reveals the punitive levels each country sought to inflict on the other. While short-term economic dislocation occurred, the longer-term strategy appeared to target reshaping global trade balances and encouraging domestic production. The US-China trade deficit has been a central issue throughout the trade war narrative. Historical data shows persistent trade deficits, with recent analyses indicating some shift due to tariffs, though not always to the extent predicted. The trade war's influence has reached beyond the shores of the US and China, impacting global financial markets. Stock markets reacted with volatility to each narrative, while other nations and economic blocs were forced to reconsider their positions in light of the shifting landscape. Technological industries found themselves at the heart of the trade war, with intellectual property disputes exacerbating tensions. This sector highlights the strategic importance of technology as a control over future economic dominance. Certain sectors were more acutely affected by the trade war. Agriculture suffered under retaliatory tariffs, the automotive industry faced increased production costs, and the technology sector found itself a battleground for regulatory supremacy. As the dust begins to settle, forecasts suggest that the trade war could recalibrate economic dynamics. For the US, it could mean a continued focus on local manufacturing, while China might push for further self-sufficiency and look towards broader international partnerships. Determining the true winner of the trade war involves evaluating a multitude of economic performance indicators. Whether through GDP growth, job numbers, or trade balances, both countries have claimed victories, though often shadowed by economic challenges. Economists and trade analysts provide a wealth of insights into the outcomes of the trade war. Notable voices weigh in on both strategic successes and failures, highlighting the complexity of the economic interplay. Stories from ordinary citizens offer a unique perspective, showcasing the human impact of economic policy. From farmers in the Midwest to urban consumers in China, personal narratives bring tangible reality to abstract economic figures. The US-China trade war has reshaped the landscape of global economics. While some sectors and regions have temporarily gained from strategic shifts, deeper complexities remain unsolved. The long-term resilience and adaptability of economies hold the key to navigating future challenges. Ensure you're informed on the evolving dynamics by subscribing to our channel. Engage with our content through comments and participate in the discussion. This platform is your resource for understanding global economic shifts. Stay connected for more.